Between the episodes on Eisenholm. On a dark and stormy night, the work began. Grabbing the scythe, I set to cutting the lawn in preparation for a touch of landscaping. We'll need a lot of this grass for later. Once a good amount of the grass had been collected, it was time to break out the shovel and get to flattening out the land. I took some of the excess dirt and used it to fill in the land around our pathway heading from the farmhouse out toward the workshop. Midway through the infill job, though, a shiver decided it wanted to roughhouse on the job site. I had to axe his position before the OSHA safety inspectors came to the area. Soon enough, I took a break from playing in the dirt to pick the now ripe apples as well as our cabbages. Once the produce was safely tucked away in the cellar, I made my way over to the maple wall to ensure that we would have enough wood for today's projects. And after that, it was over to the workshop to smelt up 10 more ingots of molybdochacos for a few more lanterns. Where we're going to need light. While I waited for the ingots to cool, I decided that since I was already in the mood for playing excavator, I'd flatten that little hill outside of the workshop to clear space for a later build. Taking some of the dirt from that mound, I finished filling in a low spot behind the chicken coop, filled in the pond beside the pig pen for a touch more workable ground, and took down a little rise beside the former pond. I may have carried on much longer with smoothing out the land, but alas, then came the hail. Golf ball-sized chunks of ice strong enough to crack windshields and dent in my dome. It was time to go inside. And so that brings us to today, where we're going to take a little bit of this dirt and work on making the pig pen a bit more suitable for such a high population of pigs. So we're going to take a little bit of this hay here, which I barely have room for, and we're just going to turn that into a nice little stacky stack right there. And with this strewn straw, we're going to get some industrialized efficiency going on. But first, we're going to need to get all these pigs out of the basement. We're going to need them to all go upstairs so I can do some renovations down here. Can you please, all of you, closing that door? Come on. There's too many of them. Okay. Out of the way. There we go. Like lemmings, they come to the food. Oh, wow. Oh, it really worked. Fast, too. There they go, the last two. And the basement will be clear. Okay, much more room for activities, and for them to spread out a bit more safely. So I will need to clear out my inventory just a little bit so I can fit all of the things that are going to clutter it up really quick here as I begin to excavate. But we're already off to a pretty good start here. So I'm going to empty my pockets here, and then we're going to do just a little bit of digging down in the basement here. Let's go over the plan for this pig pen redesign. There's going to be 3 main areas: the living quarters, of course, the collection canals, and redistribution holdings, or where the piglets will live. Now, the first steps are marking out where the new generation will enter the living quarters from, and chiseling the collection grate areas. Then popping down below, I need to dig out a basin where the piglets will begin their little river rafting journey and get the water source blocks in place. Yeah, that's right. We're using some of the same tactics as a villager breeding farm from the other block game. It's a tactic I am overly familiar with. Oh boy, have I built enough of those in my day. But I digress. With a collection area on either end of the pig pen, I'll need a second canal in place so that the two can meet at the same elevation down below. But before I get too far into digging out redistribution holdings, we're going to need those lanterns that I started prepping earlier. With lanterns in hand, I'm going to dig a staircase down from the pen to the space between our two waterways, pushing back the last few water source blocks just to widen out the space a bit. I didn't fully calculate things, I just kind of played it by ear and hoped it would work out, and it pretty well did. And with that all sorted, it's just a matter of quarrying out the area to a more respectable size, lighting it up, and just for fun, making the floor look a little bit more comfortable for the little baby pigs. And for my next trick, we're gonna finish this off by getting this door all ready to go and covered up so that, rain and wolves don't get in. That would not be a good time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh. 7? I can't fix that, can I? Not in the slightest. We got some regular doors there. Those might actually help a little bit. Where are my nails and strips? Of course. Nails and strips in the masonry lodge for some reason. Probably. Hopefully. Nails and strips? No. Surely I haven't. They must be in the workshop. Nails and strips? Not in there. Not anywhere here. I'm really gonna need to reorganize the organization that's going on. It's starting to devolve back into chaos. Nails and strips. Ah, they were here the whole time. Couple of gates. That'll do. And now I'm gonna grab just a couple extra maple logs here. And these, I think, are gonna get stripped. Or debarked, rather. Okay. Just gonna block off this side here so when I'm breaking those blocks and replacing them, the pigs don't start funneling down the wrong way. And since there's no doors there yet to get back in, I'm gonna take the scenic route. Here I go on the Piglet Express. Choo-choo! Uh-oh. Okay, that breaks the ladders. Not so good. Let's just have these at the ready. And now this is purely just an aesthetic change here. So we're gonna turn these into just little half logs here. Yeah. Yeah, I can't really fit through there, but pigs should. Ah. Ow. Hail. I'm gonna have to go around here because I can't get through. To place the doors from the proper side. Beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. Oops. I better be outside and not down below. Let's double check. It sounds like it's outside. I think we're safe. Yep, this should be well lit. Well, except for through here, but that should be okay. I think. Yeah, that's outside. We're good. I think I'll keep the escape ladders. The pigs aren't going to be able to use it anyway. They're going to get pushed away. Oh, you came from outside. Stop that. You can't do that here. No, please, sir, I'm hungry. All right. It's not quite safe. We're going to have to cover that up. Get out of here, shivery boy. Gotcha. There we go. Actually, before I leave the basement for too long, let's double check in here. Basalt, slate gravel, soil, sludgy, granite, peridot. Nothing of use here. I need slate. In the dark of the night, there were boathorns and shivers. Alright, slate. And we have a few roof pieces still. That's perfect. I need to put some of this away. That's a lot of limestone. Got a bunch of slabs, but I'll deal with those in a bit. If I'm not mistaken, do I remember these don't need... They do need a little bit of clay. I'll bring just a little bit, just in case I need to make more pieces. But I have a feeling we should be okay. Especially with 16 slanted roofs, I'm hoping that's going to be enough. Yes, chickens. I'll deal with you all soon enough. The gates are in the way. Ah, heck. No matter. Roof ridge to the rescue. What do you... Go away. Oh man, it's Pain the musical. Oh, no, get off the roof. Oh, you're creepy. No! This was perhaps a bad idea doing this at night with high rift activity. Oh, come on. I refuse to die like this. I'm doing it in the morning. Nope. It's in my house. It's in my house. The house is compromised. I'm just gonna wait for all this to blow over. I hope. Is it still in the house? It's still in the house. Get out of my kitchen. Those are granite countertops. That's a lie, actually. They're made of ceramic. Those are antique ceramic. They've been archived. You can't get them anymore. Only I may haphazardly walk across them. Okay. It's medium, but it's brighter, so we should be safer. I hope. Oh, you... What'd I tell you about my lawn, huh? That's right. I mean, I think we can buff that out. That should be fine. Now, back to real business. We're gonna need a few more of these. 1, 2, 3. Ah, I can't do 3. 4 it is, and I'll just leave one behind right there. And you know what? Before I get too far ahead, let's pop these slabs here where we're not going to need them anymore. There we go. We can just cut into those when we need them. And a 1, a 2, 2, a 3, and the last plank. There we go. It digs into the side of the mountain, goes down. Beautiful. Excellent. And then when the pigs come through here, and the little piglets are allowed up, they'll come on, filter through, fall down here, and because it's a block and a half, they won't be able to get up there. This trough will need to move, though, just in case. There we go. That's fine that they're floating. Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of touching. We're just gonna say they're supported. With hopes and dreams. And pig magic. Porca cadabra. Let's... You know what? Without closing those, I'm going to probably want to put maybe this last lantern just right inside there. So that way when the piglets are trying to get up to the sows up here, they're not going to be in darkness. What are we going to do with these floating lanterns here? We've got a lantern right in there. So let's take some of these and do some creative movements with them. Let's pop one there. And that one will pop there. That'll let us take these random floating blocks out of here. That's probably good. The light from the block in there is going to pass through the doors, so this corner here is pretty well lit. We've got skylights coming in through the whole thing, and we have decently distributed lanterns. Can't be too mad at that at all. Now, for the trough placement, we're just going to move these a little more over here. Whoops. Whoops. if I could manage to... See, it works great. Right, pigs? Out of the way, pigs. There are only ever 3 troughs. I need another big trough just for my own personal symmetry. I think one more trough in there and I can probably call this project complete. Except we're probably going to want to have a little access hatch to get down into that basement without having to fall through the water ourselves every time. So before I go grab a large trough, I'm going to fall down the hole. On purpose this time. Woo! Let's see, out in a random bit of the field there, where should I pop up? Probably in the back corner, I'd say. Seems like a good a spot as any to come in to check on things. How does this corner feel? You know what, let's check up top first. We'll copy the coordinates down for these 2 corners, and decide where we might want just a little, honestly kind of outhouse-looking building. Leads down to the pig pen. Okay, so either right here, which is on a little bit of a hillside, or 10 blocks exactly this way. Which is right on top of this hill. I have a feeling some of this hill might get cut down. Pretty likely. This'll probably actually end up being the spot. Because I think most of that hill's going to get cut down a little bit just to smooth the land out. Plus, this open area that's been cleared here beside the barn and behind the chicken coop might be a fantastic place to put some sort of milk-producing animals. We're not going to need a whole lot, just enough to maybe get into some cheese to balance out our diet. And it's going to be a little ways off because I got to find a pair of them because those rams did not survive the bear attack of last year. The 2 bear attacks. There was more than one before, that was 2 years ago. Where does the time go? I mean, not 2 real-life years, but 2 in-game years. Still, where does the time go? Well, regardless, if my math is correct, this should lead me directly down into the pig pen. Beautiful. And for now, I'm just going to do a very simple ladder backup. Yeah, we'll put a single piece of strewn straw there just so we can tell what it is, and we'll build that house in a bit. Get rid of these bushes around it. Gotta tame this land. So while I'm thinking about it, and while I'm right here, I think it's time to bust out the shovel and do a little bit of digging, flatten this little hill out. There's a lot of little bits of landscaping getting done today. Look at that wild chicken in the background. They're gonna be fresh poultry soon. So before I dig, I can cure poultry. Excellent. There's gonna be a culling of some of those non-Generation 2 chickens. Unless I just keep them for egg production, but honestly, I think we can do without eggs for a while. It's alright. It's not a huge variety. I mean, variety is not a big deal. We've got a whole lot of pork. In fact, we've almost got more pork than we know what to do with sometimes. So much it's bursting through the walls. But hopefully the added space in this little chamber underground is going to keep those pigs from spilling out of the walls. I haven't seen any more of them pop out since I brought them all together upstairs, but it could just be me not recognizing which ones were already out. It'll become clear as there's future generations if any new ones start popping out into the land. There we go. It's a little bit flatter now. It's getting a little dark, so it's harder to see, but this is our little spot where we're going to build the entrance that goes down, and the more I'm looking at this space here, the more I'm thinking perhaps more than just a tiny outhouse. Honestly, this could make a pretty good spot for a greenhouse eventually. Not too bad of an idea. That way, it's an enclosed entrance that's just part of the greenhouse building itself. Maybe like a little shed room or something. That could work out quite well. Yeah. But before I forget, I'm going to need another trough. Why do I have a feeling there's one in here somewhere? Is that just my small trough? Probably just my small trough, wasn't it? Yeah, I got some small troughs there. Okay. Okay, big trough time. Should I feed the pigs? May as well. Get things started on generational testing. Oh, and also the oak tree grew a while ago. So that's good. We'll have time to do that at some point. Today is animals. Trough time. Please vacate the spot. Please. There we go. That only took longer than it should have. There we go. I filled the troughs, and now I allow them to munch. And once they munch, then I will leave them to do the things that they do, and I don't really mind if not all of them make a new generation, because, oh, there's a lot. There is indeed still a lot of these. There's so many pigs. Oh, dang it. I'm gonna need some hawkwise or something. I think just feeding them, I'm gonna have to quell them down just to be a little bit more sustainable, I think. Probably. But we'll see how things go with the next generation. I'll patch this hole later on. Hello? Is that just playing dead? Alright. Sneak attack! Oh. Oh. He was left there as a trap. Oh. Now, if it weren't so dangerous out there, I'd be starting to work on the chickens. But there's already men banging at the door. So we're gonna work on things that are just a tad bit more mobile until things calm down outside. For one, storing all this dirt, along with wherever I ended up putting the dirt from earlier. I just shoved it in here, okay. I'll shove a little bit more in there for the moment. I think we're gonna need some dirt storage. We'll just shove a lot of it into here as well, because we're gonna need that right quick near the door anyway. Maybe along with the strewn straw for now. We're gonna have to make some proper dirt storage. While we're inside, we can ponder things. So the raised chicken coop. There may have been a slight design flaw with it, as in the chickens did not stay within the coop. In fact, there's only really a couple of them still left in there. The rest of them all are in the fenced-in area right around it. And I don't think they know how to use the ramp. So I think we might have to do something about that chicken coop, either by expanding the size of it to accommodate more chickens, or by bringing it down to the ground. I'm thinking a little at column A and a little at column B. We can take that similar design and expand it out, perhaps using the original one as, well, maybe just a section of it. We could just do an expansion. A chicken mansion, if you will. I mean, proportional to the size of chickens. Still be hopefully decently small, as are the chickens. So I'm gonna draw up some design plans for myself here and wait for all that danger outside to blow over. See you in a moment. A big thank you to this video's sponsor, Lagless. Want to play Vintage Story on a server with your friends? Lagless offers full mod support server hosting for games like Vintage Story, Minecraft, and more, starting at just $8 a month. Use my affiliate link in the description below to help support the channel. And now, back to the video. So, hopefully we've got enough materials, and if not, well, we can always make a quick little resource run. Maple is in no short supply, and sandstone is just a hop, skip, and a sail away. So let's get expanding this chicken coop and replacing some of the trim on the rest of this barn here that I want to have all uniformly sandstone, just on that first block, for a solid foundation. Do you think he knows that he is a dog? Probably not. Let's get to building. Okay, so with that wall all proper, the coop. So I expanded out the back here just a little bit. It's going to be expanding outward that way. And inside here, we're going to fill in just a little bit of the ground here. Yeah, so that's going to give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interior, which is lining up to what we've got inside there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do the same thing here, so that's 1, 2 technically. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoops, that's 8. That's extra. And then just cover it up there. And this will be the interior dimensions of what our chicken coop is going to actually be with this little addition onto it. So we'll just bring the fence around here. And we're going to give ourselves just 2 blocks of grace in the front here, even though this is technically the side, but this will be the entrance into our new generation catch basin. This is going to be a much smaller but fairly similar design to the pig pen. This is for holding criminal chickens. There we go. And we'll have just a nice little yard out in the front there. We can pretty it up. You know what? This back fence probably could use a little 1 block safety buffer. Just so it's not butted right up against the building. Out of the way, chickens. Get away from me. Run. That's right, you scatter. Build up the wall there, and we'll probably do the same on the other side here, to an extent. So for these particular blocks that are on the corners here, and really most of these little wooden faces, they are pushed in by a single voxel. So here, we're just going to pull it back out so it's in line with the edge there. Just so we don't have ourselves a strange little gap when we're building up the rest of this. And that's actually just gonna be some hay roof on here. Thatch, rather. Just to keep it in line with what we've got going on up there. And for these little hay ridges going on up there, I was watching a few different videos from a bunch of different chiselers, and I came across one by Nellison, where they covered up the sides of these stairs with a nice little single voxel chiseled layer, and then hidden by beams. So you know what? That looks fantastic. I'm using good tactics. That's some good stuff right there. It's the good stuff kids go for. It's Sunny D, alright. So we're gonna pop some facades on here, but I suppose first I can just pull these guys out, because they're not gonna have to be recessed anymore. We're gonna have another layer, in fact, going over top of them. And on the edges here, we're gonna employ the exact same thing, just with cobblestone. Oh wow, that was the perfect amount. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. I'd be lying if I said I counted that though. That was just sheer luck. And let's see, I don't know if this will do the trick, but it just might. Yeah, at least as a temporary layer, we'll use these little sticks to hopefully let a little bit of sunshine through. But it's not going to keep things warm in there for the chickens in the winter. I don't think they'll die. That should be okay. 1, 2, 3. Always gonna have an extra roof ridge. Whoops. I have to grab a couple other quartz slabs just so I can make a couple more skylights there, but for now, the sticks will work. They'll keep the rain out and hopefully let light in. That's their main purpose in life anyway. And then with some of these little blocks underneath here, we're just gonna make them pretty well back into a full block. There we go, and if I do that, these should all be identical. So when I break them, they'll hopefully stack. Hey, they're stacking here. Yeah, so it's starting to look like it has a little bit more of a solid foundation underneath. And the support beams kind of clip into the stone, which adds a little bit of a reinforcement look. I kind of like it. On this side, yeah, there's a bit of a gap, but that's okay. It's a chicken coop. Perfection was never the goal. Chickens. Chickens are the goal. Now we're actually going to be doing it properly, so we'll have a decent amount of chickens. Uh-oh. I've run out of cobble. That's alright, I have a cunning plan. I'm going to replace everything above this line with wood. That can be a window. Yeah. In the meantime, we'll do the classic thing of putting a fence in there. You know what? We may as well reuse all of these slabs here. Yeah. And we're gonna dig this entire little bit out here. We're gonna need a little bit of room for the waterway. And we may as well lower all of these down so they're just full-on slabs again. Except in these three, it's gonna be a little something special. Gonna do these little holes in the center, very much in the same vein as what we've got going on with the pigs. I think these might just be slightly smaller holes, ever so slightly. There we go. And then we'll have water down here. And do we have enough sandstone? Let's... There we go. You know, to make this place feel a little bit more like the basement, let's grab some more strewn straw. What do you mean grab? I've got all the things I need to make. Whoops. I've got everything I need to make strewn straw. Okay. Let's see, how far does water go? Water will come out to here. That's almost enough. And there we go. We'll fence off the water sources just so nothing can get trapped in there. Probably should have done that with the pigs, but the pigs will be fine. Pigs will be fine. I don't think we're going to have any go missing. Well, okay, I say that as several pigs have gone missing roaming around the land. But it's okay. They're plentiful. Chickens are precious because we'll probably keep their numbers smaller until they're aged up into multiple generations. And then we will take our docile chickens and propagate them across the land. As decorative pieces. Also as, you know, functioning barnyard animals. Let's block that off. There we go, and let's make ourselves a few little staircases for the chickens to go up. Let's do a little bit of decorative work here. All right. Let's take a few of these. Take a few of these slabs here, because we're gonna reconfigure this just ever so slightly. This is chicken sized. I take these slabs and I turn them back into that. I can recreate an entire block. And we'll just block those sides in so chickens can't really get up there and get trapped before they're able to get out here and walk their way up over to where we're just gonna add in. Ooh. Yeah, gonna need to give myself a little step up into here. Temporarily remove these. This wall here is gonna have to mostly come out. And we're gonna make one of our new items here, some solid maple trapdoors. And we're gonna need 3 of these, so that's just gonna be 2, so that'll take 18 of these. And we'll have an extra trapdoor left over. I'm gonna need to do this from below, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to get low enough, am I? Ooh, probably not. Now what if I... Aha! That'll do. Beautiful. Just pull those in to get rid of that little voxel of sandstone. And we will pop those right back on top. Excellent. Okay. Good. Fantastic. Wonderful. And now sometimes the chickens, if they're playing around up there, they might fall back down here, but that's okay. They'll just run right back up and around. And from what I've found, their pathfinding is actually pretty decent. As long as there's actual solid blocks to walk on, although they do figure out that ramp when food is involved. I just haven't really fed these chickens since they started to get out, so I haven't watched any of them go up the ramp in search of food. And that's entirely on me. And a couple last things we're going to need is probably to fill in this base here, but we're also going to need a door. And then let's just get a little beam going across here. Move this fern out of the way. And frame up the door all nice like that. And some of the patterning that we've got along here, just like that one bar going across, we're just going to repeat that across the entirety of the outside of this new bit of the structure. As well as having some vertical beams every 2 blocks. And we'll do a little bit of crisscrossing going on here, just to give this a little bit more interest. The door does break up that pattern on this side, and that's okay. Ooh, that's a problem. Those are vertical. I can't have vertical on here. Not proper. Now there's the question of, do I do this inside piece? But if I'm being honest, I don't think anybody's ever going to see it. If I weren't up on the roof here, I 100% would never see it. Could cover it up with some more roof pieces. Just extend that roof into here? That actually might not be a terrible idea. You know what? That blends it in fairly nicely. I need to eat. Away from the door, chickens. My lunch awaits me. Ah, and how could I forget? I'm going to need to organize this a little bit in here. So we've got our 3 little catch basin holes here for any new little chicks that get born. We're going to have to reorganize where these things are here. Yeah. Yeah, that should do. That should do nicely. I'm going to take this lantern, and we're probably going to put that... You know what, actually, where it was probably fine. We might just need to make another one for the other side. So, you two are Generation 2, so you should stay. Alright, chickens. Generation 2, Generation 2. That's a rooster. You don't count. 1, 3? Oh my. This is gonna be tricky. Okay, Generation 1. Don't run off with the rest of them. Now it's Generation 2, that can stay. Okay. This is gonna take some precision. Oh, she knows some moves. I got Dark Souls chicken. She was dodging and weaving. Alright, Generation 2. You know what? We'll leave some of you. You're Generation 1. Okay. There are less chickens. We should be okay. Just gonna dispose of the evidence here. Pop this chicken down into the basement and grab ourselves a little bit of flax. See if we can't coax those chickens inside to start laying some eggs. Alright, troughs are filled. Door is open. I will give them some space, and we will watch from afar. They're learning. Oh, happy day. Oh, there's a bow torn outside. Well, I think at least for the moment I'm gonna call that chicken coop a roaring success. I do just need a little bit more light in there, though. So we'll have to make some more lanterns pretty soon. However, most of the baby chicks that fall down into the water stream are gonna run right up that little staircase that we made and stand right at the trapdoors, which means they're going to be within the light of the lantern that's already in there. Like, the vast majority of the time. The only potential flaw that I see with this current design for the chicken coop is the rooster. He's just kind of free roaming. And if another cockerel grows up to be a rooster, it's Highlander rules. I didn't decide it. I'm just here to adjudicate the match and declare the winner. So in theory, having the rooster up in its own little enclosed chamber where it's close enough to fertilize eggs, but not so close that another rooster can attack it, would near guarantee its safety. However, I'm just gonna let it be. He survived this long, how dangerous can it really be? And if he gets taken out by some young upstart other rooster, well, we still have a rooster, so that's kind of the important thing. But instead of leaving the exterior cosmetics mostly done, let's finish that off. Let's get a little paned window in place there. 2 glass slabs up for the skylights that are proper, not just layers of sticks. And I'm going to take some of these maple beams and try and finish off the exterior of the pig pen, finally. Because it's been a little lacking in the completed beams department for, when did we build that? Beginning of the 2nd year? It's been a while. Couple of years. Oh boy.
Brother, may I have some oats?
No.
I am starving, brother.
As am I, brother. The tall, skinny figure has thrown the oats at me. Me, brother! I believe they have taken a liking to me.
No, brother. I have seen this before. I have observed many things, from the roaring beasts that the tall, skinny figures crawl inside of to travel far beyond the horizon, to how the figure wept when the other had fallen into a deep sleep. And from my experiences I have learned that they will give extra oats to one of us before taking them into the shed of no return. They will do terrible things in that shed, brother.
Lies! That shed is where the chosen ones go to dine with our tall, skinny gods. You are a fool, brother, and you shall be left behind in the mud with your backwards ideas.
No, brother. You must believe me. Share with me the oats, and you shall not reach the desired girth for the tall, skinny ones. They will spare your life, brother.
Aha! So this was a plan all to steal my oats. You truly are despicable, brother. I will not trust your lies.
Brother, when they took me outside the reaches of the pointy fences, into the roaring beast and way over the horizon, I saw it. I was taken to a gathering of these tall, skinny figures. They paraded me around, brother, and I saw the truth. I saw the tall, skinny figures consuming our flesh. Could not have been mistaken, brother. The smell of the flesh was surely one of us. They suspended the flesh above a fire and let it burn before consuming it. And they did not just consume it either, brother. They took pleasure from this. Their mouths curved a wicked smile. And some even let out moans of satisfaction from consuming our flesh, brother. The figures are consumers, brother. They are no different than the furry red demon that consumed and terrorized us and the feathered ones.
Your story amuses me, brother, but it does not convince me. I shall have these oats myself and dine with the tall, skinny gods.
I am sorry for you, brother. Your eyes cannot take the blinding light of the truth, and you scurry back into the cave. I shall take care of your spawn once they consume you, brother. As they have consumed your lover, our father, our mother, and many more.
Darling, hold my hand. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of free Child Place holidays available with 22 kilograms of baggage included. Book now with Jet 2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
I need your help. Can you come here?
I can't. I'm buying clothes.
All right, well, hurry up and come over here.
I can't find them.
What do you mean you can't find them?
I can't find them. There's only soup.
What do you mean there's only soup?
It means there's only soup.
Well, then get out of the soup aisle.
All right, you don't have to shout at me. There's more soup.
What do you mean there's more soup?
There's just more soup.
Go to the next aisle.
There's still soup.
Where are you right now?
I'm at soup.
What do you mean you're at soup?
I mean I'm at soup.
What store are you in?
I'm at the soup store.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
You.
Okay. We've got all this detail work in place. Everything's looking pretty good. It's getting dark, though. Getting a little spooky outside. Also, there's a lot of pigs. I think more of them might have phased through the wall when I had them all huddled together for food. Whoops. But in any case, since we're on a bit of a building spree with the animals and their requisite housing, why don't we do one, maybe two more little builds over here? Dog the Moose is going to need his little house. And even though we currently don't have any sheep or goats, we're going to want a spot for when we do get them, so we can properly keep those generations separated, replace as needed, as well as have a milking station, so we can get that sweet, sweet cheese. Although I suppose cheese is more salty than sweet. No matter. The cheese will be had, eventually. So just beside where we have the pig pen here, I'm thinking maybe a 5-block gap, and then right in this area, we could have ourselves a nice little barn for milkable animals. And maybe somewhere out just adjacent to it, here-ish, maybe? We could build a little doghouse, or I guess, a bit of a bigger doghouse, since Dog the Moose is, well, no small dog. We'll give him his own little dedicated space. And maybe at some point, clean up these escaped pigs, and cull the herd inside. I don't think we need an exponentially larger next generation. The amount of pigs is already a little unmanageable as it is. But regardless, let's get some foundations and maybe a little bit more than just foundations in for these other two animal-related structures. Commence the time lapse. Okay, so it's a little bit dangerous outside, and to fight for my life just to get back indoors. But I dare say we've gotten a lot done today. Got the pig pen all reconfigured so it's a lot more efficient, and once we cull down the population a little bit, it's not going to be as bursting from the seams. Plus, I won't have to worry nearly as much about how to get the pigs to go where I need them to go with each new generation. We also got the chicken coop expanded, so there's room for them to grow and we can start getting those generations going. There's already some eggs in there that are fertilized and being laid upon as we speak. So soon we'll have some little baby chickens. They'll go down the waterways as well. We're using that other block game waterway techniques, of which I became abundantly familiar with back in those days. Don't ask me about the war crimes, I'm Canadian. And along with that, we also got the beginnings of a milking barn for sheep or goats. Depends on which ones we catch. If we get goats, some of them are a little bit smaller, so we might have to make the little holes for the bebis to fall down a little tinier. But right now, they're sized for bighorn sheep, so hopefully we'll come across a few of those that we can lure over, since I haven't seen any of them spawning recently. That's since the influx of the pig population. They're probably taking up the spawn cap. And lastly, we've got the beginnings of a doghouse for Dog the Moose, so we can get him out of the entrance to our pig pen and be able to use the front door again. But I think that's pretty good for today. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And a huge special shout out to all of our channel members. You're all the greatest. Thank you so much for your support. Now, before I can finish the doghouse as well as the milking barn, we're going to need to get a lot more slate for more roofing. So I think between the episodes, a little trip out there is going to be in order. Probably to the same quarry that I got it for the slate that I needed for the mural in the workshop. There was quite a bit there, intermixed with chert and paradewite and a bunch of other things. So once again, thank you all so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. When am I going to fix the rest of that armor? Oh, there's still steel cooking, right.